Wednesday Campanella's Utaha is, to be honest, kind of a unique entity. I gotta be fair to say, I was a Wednesday Campanella fan before Utaha came along, and I was completely caught by surprise when she joined the group. I didn't even know it was happening. I'm one of those people that didn't really stay into the news side of it so much, so when she suddenly joined, it completely caught me off guard. And you know what? I didn't think anyone could replace the original singer, and then along comes Utaha, and she was just such a perfect fit. But she also brought a lot of just a brilliant energy, a wonderful smile, a wonderful style. She's just one of those people who, she just lights up every frame that she's on. But she also has a great talent both as a singer and a rapper. Now, again, I've been sideswiped by the fact that I did not know she has a solo career, and here it is. Moreover, this is her account. Apparently she's only got 1.35 thousand subscribers. I've got more subscribers than her. Let me get her en route to me. There we go. I've subscribed to all of so hopefully I'll help her overtake me nice and soon where she belongs. Look, Utaha is just such a fantastic character. And so this is a new song. I didn't know she had a solo career. I didn't know this was going to happen. Even though I follow her social media, even though I'm liking it all the time, somehow I missed this. The song is apparently called My Body Is Q. I'm just going to quickly say a quick caveat before we jump into this. Actually, there's one thing in particular that I always kind of regard as a definite sign of just how charming Utaha is. I've got to be honest, I've got a little bit of an aversion to face piercings. Every time I see face piercings, I really like them. And yet, I see Utaha, and she looks great. I don't know, there's something about the way she wears it, the confidence, the whole, it just looks like she wears them with so much pride. It's just like, it's part of her look. And for me, that was always like an interesting sign of just how charming she is. Because like a lot, I don't know, it's just me. Usually I see that kind of thing, I'm like, ugh. Her, I'm like, cool. So anyway, there you go. That was a random piece of information. Let's jump in, have a little bit of a listen to this new song. It's called My Body Is Cute. I just thought that was an interesting thing to mention because she's talking about her body. I don't know where this is going to go. Fingers crossed it's going to be the usual sort of like insane, crazed, fun, and also charm of Utaha. Let's go. Enough waffle. Let's get into it.
My body is cute.
Ooh, soulful start. Okay. It's kind of very turn of millennium J-pop mixed with a little bit of a rock vibe. I like that little tapping bass line. That chord pattern coming up with the piano sounds so uplifting. Oh, I'm loving the vibe of this. This is much more charming than I was expecting. I've got to be honest, I can't hear the kick drum. It's like the kick drum wasn't left in the mix or something. That might be because it's such a light, feel-good song, they wanted to keep it turned down, but I think it could use a little bit of kick in there. Are we doing steel drums? I think we are. I'm not gonna lie, this reminds me so much of so many nostalgic sounds from growing up. That's a really sort of club sounding clap. Like an 808 clap. I was expecting a key change there. I gotta press like on this right now. This is crazy charming. I got a lot to say about this. This is not what I expected. I guess I should have expected this, but this is not what I expected. Wow. I told you she has a habit of like surprising me. Okay, look. First things first, let's get a nice frame. She looks like half asleep there. She looks angry there. It looks even more angry there. There we go. Let's just throw it. There we go. Look, there's so much to say about this. Okay, first things first. I will get into the music probably in a moment, but first of all, yeah, the music was absolutely charming. A little bit out in the kick drum being a little bit too low. I know they were trying to keep it light and fairly easy going, but I think they could have used a little bit of kick drum in there just to sort of help the fact it was also kind of a bouncy song. Kick drum was very much missing from my ear. But yeah, I will say, all things aside, basically the song was very charming. We'll get into more details in a minute. But first of all, we have to talk about just the general ethos, the general charm, the feel of this video. I mean, and the song. It's like, do you know what, actually? One thing came to mind when I was listening to this is that, okay, the reason why Utaha can get away with doing a video that's this cutesy is kind of the invert. You know when you see those like groups where they try and act super cool? It's all like, yeah. All that kind of... I'm thinking Blackpink. But you know, you see those kind of groups, and sometimes you think it kind of looks a bit disingenuous because you're like, it just looks like really, really fake as hell. And you kind of think, I don't know if you necessarily earned that. This is kind of like the inverse in a positive way, in that some people as well try to do things where they try to be too cutesy and it just looks a little bit fake, you know, they're trying to be overly cutesy. But with Utaha, because we've seen her just be downright cool, but in like a legit way. We've seen her be cool in Wednesday Campanella to really kind of cool, funky, charting sort of pop songs, and she just can carry it off with a little bit of just the right amount of swag. You know, it's like she's done that, and so as a result, when she does a cute song like this, it feels all the more honest as a result. It doesn't feel like you're just being overloaded with sugar. It feels like, you know, this is like, just genuinely feels like something where she's genuinely expressing a part of her personality. I think also on top of that as well, I mentioned about the piercings, and ironically, I'd heard and I guess this would be rather obvious, I guess, if you think about it, but when she was growing up, apparently when she was in school and stuff, you know, she felt a little bit odd about expressing herself, and you know, she had a lot of as a lot of kids do, you really had to find her own way of expressing herself and her look and everything, and this was a lot of what brought her to be, you know, who she was as she grew up. Kind of similar actually to the Kyari Pami Pami story. I think there are some people who just become very good at expressing themselves through the way they look. And so the name of the song and the whole feel, you know, it's kind of got this slight childlike regression to it. It does feel like this is an extension of that. This is like that part of her that, you know, still has that childhood. I mean, she's quite young, but she still has that childhood vibe wanting to come out. And it just, everything about this, it feels genuine. It doesn't feel fake. It doesn't feel like a bunch of, let's have some pink cutesy pop for the sake of it. It feels like it's really coming from an honest place. Maybe that's just me, but maybe that's just my perception of her. But I feel like this really comes across like something that she actually wanted to express. You know, she wanted to express a bit of childlike joy. And the name, My Body Is Cute. You know, that could, I was kind of like worrying at first what direction it's going to go in, you know, what you know, but it felt like just like a self-acceptance kind of song. Not gathering all the lyrics first time out, got to be honest, but from what I was gathering of it, you know, the little dribs and drabs that I was picking out, and the general vibe. It just feels like a really nice self-acceptance song, and I love that. Now, from a musical side, fairly simple moving chord structure. What I really liked about this is that the chord patterns were really nicely brought to life by just all of the extra sounds that were put in there. It felt like a very lively but not cluttered mix. You know, when the steel drum sound came into the second verse, it was very quiet, and it was just there as a bit of colouring, just to make the second verse sound that little bit different from the first. But at the same time, it was there, added something cheeky, and going for that sound is such a cool thing to do. I remember actually with steel drum set when I was first like writing music, one of the first things I played around with was I liked getting weird sounds in there, and like a couple of ones I'd always go for is like throwing in like brass where it didn't belong, throwing in koto, Japanese koto, and steel drums. These are just sounds, you throw them in and they're so charming. And just hearing that, I was like, that's such a playful thing. Again, kind of gave me a bit of childlike regression to when I started writing, and I was looking for these weird sounds that sounded good but maybe sounded out of place. You throw that in, the piano bit in the pre-chorus was really lovely. It, really sort of accented the beginning of each chord, but then added a little bit of color over the top of it, sort of hitting down on the chord and then adding some extra notes to give a little bit of flavor to it. The beat itself, like I say, the kick drum was kind of, I felt I wanted to hear that more, but it still had a nice sort of little bounce to it, a little triplet sort of bounce. Everything about the way the song was structured was just so full of joy. Funny thing is that some of the vibe of it, I was saying it reminded me of stuff. I was thinking of like a lot of, I guess, sort of like late 90s British pop, everywhere from the sort of like, the sort of bewitched sort of things, just like some of the more cheerful, like Robbie Williams songs and stuff. It kind of had that vibe, whereas a lot of those songs kind of felt, a bit manufactured. This just was like alive with Utaha's. And also because she's so talented, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know again, but I wouldn't be surprised if she had a big hand in writing this. This was an utter joy. I really liked this. I gotta be honest, I always come into these videos with positivity, but there was a little bit of me which was like, I hope this is good. And also, I love the fact that it was so different from Wednesday Campanella. You often get artists, they do side projects, and the side project they'll be a little bit scared to step too far away from what people know. This was lovely, It was still her, but it was so different. This is charming. This is definitely going to be one I will definitely be coming back to listen to this again. I think anytime I have a bad day, this is going to be a quick one to throw on. Love it. Absolutely brilliant. Over the moon. Once again, I'm a big supporter of everything Utaha, and what a joy. What an absolute joy. All right, there you go. Those are my thoughts. Get in the comments. Tell me what you think. I've got to record another reaction, but all I want to do is listen to this again. I'm going to listen to this again. All right, get in the comments, tell me what you think, and for now, ciao, ciao.